Welcome back to a special Labor Day Classic edition of Alabama Live. We're gearing up for a big football game coming up on Saturday. Alabama State taking on Southern. But, hey, there's a lot more going on campus this week as we are gearing up for football season. Last week was week 0. We had a little sprinkling of football fun, but this is the real deal, week number 1. You know, the football players and all the fall sports are out there working hard. We've got to make sure somebody takes care of them. We have trainer Courtney Perkins, the athletic trainer, the head trainer, join us. We appreciate you giving us some time today.
Yes, thank you.
So you said you've worked in South Carolina State. You went to school in Chapel Hill at the University of North Carolina. So you're probably used to this type of heat.
Yes, yeah. Being a Southern girl, I am used to this heat. But being here in Alabama for about a year and a half, I think I'm adjusted to this heat.
What brought you to Alabama State? What was it about the Hornet Nation that you wanted to be a part of?
Yeah, so under the leadership of Dr. Jason Cable, who's our athletics director, and his vision for the athletic program, it was really a job I couldn't turn down. Just the focus of keeping our athletes healthy, keeping the student-athlete experience at the forefront, that's always the goal of any athletic program.
The obvious question is, as we're sitting out here, the heat. We know the football team, they're in full pads going through summer workouts. Last week it was dangerously hot.
Right.
What do you guys do to keep the players safe?
Yeah, so there's a lot of precautionary measures that go into place, a lot of preventative things that we do. One of the main things is weather monitoring. We monitor our wet bulb globe temperature, which kind of accounts for not just the temperature of how it feels outside, but the heat index, solar radiation, wind direction, all that good stuff. And then we adjust our practice times to practice at a more ideal time, so early in the morning, later in the afternoon, and then obviously our hydration materials are very important, so making sure the guys have water, Powerade continuously throughout practice. Those water breaks, we're making sure they're over in the shaded area to cool down adequately.
You said you have a staff of 5, but football is not the only fall sport. Talk about how busy you guys are, and a bunch of people going in different directions a lot of time because you have 5 sports going at once.
Right. Yeah, so our fall sports, we have men's and women's cross country, football, soccer. So all of those athletes, they are in this heat tremendously at the beginning of the semester. So we have to work effortlessly with the coaching staff, our sports medicine staff, team doctors to make sure those athletes stay healthy and hydrated.
Talk about your excitement now because we're finally back. The kids are back on campus. The students are back here. We finally have a football game this week. What's it like for you? I know you're taking care of these guys on the football field. You got to be excited too.
Yes, obviously having the student athletes on campus, that's the most exciting part of it. Summertime's the downtime. It's more of the preparatory phases. So I was so excited to see the student athletes walk back on August 1st, ready for a new exciting year.
A lot of times when an athlete comes to you, he or she might be injured and worried about their future being able to play again. What's the most rewarding part of your job working with these student athletes?
Yeah, the most rewarding part as an athletic trainer definitely is being able to see the athlete through the full scope of injury. So we see them at the beginning when they're not injured. We see them at practice or at the game when it happens, and we follow them throughout that whole course of rehab. So just being able to see them, one, develop as a person and professionally, but also to develop and return back to play after a significant injury.
What's the toughest part? I imagine when someone can't go and you have to give them the bad news that you can't play this week, or maybe your season might be done. That's got to be tough.
Yeah, definitely tough news, but we like to develop that relationship with the student athletes prior to, so whenever we're having those difficult conversations, like we are both on the same page about what needs to happen. We're talking with the coaches about what next steps are, so we just like to have those relationships with our student athletes to make sure they're fully taken care of holistically from physical and mental health.
Courtney, I can tell the athletes, the male and female, are in good hands with you.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Thank you much for being here with us today on Alabama Live.
Thank you.